Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this presentation. I'm working for Telefonica in Spain.
Exactly.
We are a global unit
Keeping myself awake.
mostly to provide a security solution to enterprises, to all operators that we have all over the world. And today, I would like to explain which is our strategy to deploy security during the whole life cycle when one of our customers is implementing IoT services. Well, let me start with a little bit of history. Early in the 90s, the digitalization of the companies started, just moving some activities that were done manually, using, for example, all the accounting of the company were done manually, and they're starting to move to some specific servers and applications that were used by only some very few members of the company. Okay, but when they decide to move these activities to IT servers, and they will need to connect different entities in one company, one located here, another there, they are open to expose their vulnerabilities to the world. Okay, what they happen when they started to implement solutions, the connected offices, they start to introduce very low-cost PCs and mobiles. And then the border of the company start to be elastic. Why elastic? Because sometimes the PCs are inside the company, sometimes the PCs are outside the company, and for sure the mobile devices. So the number of vulnerabilities are increasing. Afterwards, when you introduce early in the 20th century the cloud solutions, now they are moving the business logic and the data storage to the cloud. That they never know really which is the cloud in the very beginning. And even we have now even more complex and distributed solutions that implement containers. So the border expands, so the vulnerability and the surface of the attacks is growing. And then it comes IoT. In a wide sense, we can talk about enterprise IoT with autonomous devices, with say standalone connectivity, specific connectivity for those all devices, IP native, and they are even thousands of kilometers far away from your perimeter. And those other that call industrial control systems, these are all systems, but now the companies see the need to connect each other, to connect to 3PPs that needs to extract the data that they are collecting and process it and take some advantages of those. So what we see is a very complex scenario that the companies already have. And what happens? The regulation is supporting to us or the different frameworks. Thanks to Copper Horse, we have this very valuable diagram or map that is showing us the complexity of all the frameworks and regulations that we have already. If we focus in the IoTSF, we see that there are at least more than 30 connections between different standards or frameworks or even papers that have been published. So for a company, a new company that is starting up with the IoT business, what they can do with that? It's very complex for them. Well, Gartner is predicting that in 2 years' time, maybe the regulation could be one of the most influencers in the IoT security update. And we can agree or not, but the issue is that companies, they don't know what security should implement now. And what is happening? Some years ago, even we could say last year, we talk about security as a fear for the companies. Now it's a concern. When it is a concern, then you apply measures to put solutions on these issues. It's independently of the company or the country. Okay, but there are still some challenges that should be faced for these companies. The first one is that they should integrate with all the system technology. They cannot do it in another way, because IoT is part of the company, so should be integrated with all of those systems. The second one is security and the privacy concerns, the importance of the data. The data is important not because the data itself, because it's what is moving your business, okay? The third one is the cost of the implementation. Okay, it's a new technology, how will it cost me, if I need support? But another one that is more important, and here we see that telco operators could play a very important role, is the lack of in-house skills. We see this morning, Colleen, you show us a very clear use case where you need support from experts, IoT experts, security experts, to work together. So we are working on that way. But at the end, always there is a resistance to introduce new technology. There's nothing. And one of the important things that, thanks to ESMA survey, that still enterprises consider telco operators as natural security providers. Okay. And what we are doing? Well, this is summarize all the phases that we can have in a project, in any kind of project. We have first phase of design and development, second one testing and deployment of the solution, and finally we put on production and operation all the IoT solution. For the first phase, what we are doing with our customers, we are starting because we have to be ourselves our competencies as well in IoT. We are doing with partners with a part of our company that is fully dedicated to cybersecurity, that is called 11 Paths. We are supporting them security by design. We started in IoT just giving support for coverage of the devices, introducing new communication technologies like narrowband or Cat-M. And we started with that and supporting in use cases with the performance and the coverage of those devices. But now our customers are requesting us to support them on security. So we are starting to build a framework, taking parts of one of another control framework that already exists. We are not going to invent the wheel again. So, but this is the first service that we are offering to our customers. The second one is, okay, you have already designed your solution, and then you start the testing of the solution, and you are ready to launch it. Okay, stop, please. Could you support us doing a technology audit of our solution? Yes, of course. So we go from the device to the data connectivity, to the cloud platform, or if it is a solution on-premise, we provide the consultancy and auditing all the technologies from end to end in the whole solution. And then once it is in production or operation, okay, what we are proposing then is, okay, we have to have a regular assessment. Every year, every 6 months, we have to evaluate with you which are the risks that you are having in your solution, and we will propose to work together on that sense. But it's not mandatory that you go with us in all of the phases, but we have the possibilities to go with our customer from the very beginning. The control framework that you are using, EMSA, for us is a reference, but it is more a comprehensive view of the whole end solution, end-to-end. When we are more focused on testing devices, we are using as well some part of CTIA. We are using as well the code of practice from IoTSF or recommendations from EMSA. But we have to move on that way. We are using the open source security standard testing methodology that is a common one in this world, and we are supported by 11 Paths, that is our professional service company. But for us as well, it's a very good opportunity to introduce part of our product and services portfolio in security specifically. For that, we have a value proposition that we have divided in 3 levels, and the basis is our IoT product and services. The connectivity is our our main asset. And what we call the core security services. The first one is our managed connectivity platform that is focused on cellular connectivity. And then we have Secure Connect that are based in VPNs, IPsec or MPLS, and as well private APNs. So, and then we start with the professional services, the one that we saw before. And this is the basis for all of services that we are delivering. And we are in the way of developing specific security services. First one is secure credentials. It is trying to solve the challenge to identify and the mutual authentication between the devices and the IoT platforms. The second one is the IoT threat detection. It's just to detect anomalous behavior with the less intervention of the operator. So we only see the traffic and we raise alerts to our SOCs just to notify to our customer that a problem has arisen, and if we have a policy that says to us that you have to implement some recovery or implement some policies in the firewalls, we will do it. And the third one is secured by DNS. It could be the first step in security when our devices, if they are connected to internet and they're willing to connect to somewhere that the site is potentially a command and control center to send us or to control a botnet, we stop them from the very beginning. And then we have other traditional security services that we are delivering in IT world. That could be a web application firewall or vulnerability management that we have here, for instance, persistent pen testing over the devices that we have in our company, or Sanda's GRC, that is a governance risk compliant tool for companies, or CyberThreat that is trying to anticipate what is happening in the network and could affect our customers. Here, just to show one of the services, this is the IoT threat detection services. What we are trying is to provide services without putting any agent neither in the device or neither in the platform. Just to be as, let's say, with no intervention of the customer. Just to be something that could be transparent for them. What we are doing here is just taking a copy of the network traffic and we have analysis engine for this IoT, specific IoT threat detection. Then we raise our alerts to our SOC that is using some of our solutions, that is the cyber threats. We belong to the Cyber Threat Alliance, so we received a lot of information, IOCs from different companies all over the world, so we can feed our analysis engine to, let's say, first report to our customer what is happening, and then they decide if they would like to implement some policies or not, and we will implement on behalf of them. And what is something that is really new is that we are using an IoT-specific honeypot with provide us as well cyber intelligence feeds. We have a number of devices already connected that are receiving attacks every day. After some time, we make an analysis of those attacks, so we can put new feeds on intelligence just to renew the different type of viruses or malware that is infecting IoT devices. Well, which are our capabilities in terms of soft? Now we are talking about ones we have already deployed our services. Here in Europe, we have in Spain and in UK. In UK, we have SOC specifically. It was an initiative for the Smart Metering Implementation Program here. We are dealing with, I think it's mostly, hopefully next year, around 30 million of hubs and devices, smart meters, okay? Then in America, we have in USA, Mexico, Ecuador, Colombia, Chile, Brazil, and another one that is covering world coverage that is especially implemented for those multinational companies where Telefonica has no mobile footprint, but we are, with roaming agreements, we are delivering services there. We are as well members of Global Telco Security Alliance. So at the end, we are receiving and collecting information for 28 SOCs all over the world with different telco operators and providing support to 1.2 billion customers all over the world. And here in Spain, we have an initiative that is okay, but our customers, they have connectivity, so we're talking about communications, corporate communications. They have services in the cloud, they have needs of security of the corporate solutions, and they have IoT solutions. So it's an initiative in our SOC in Spain that has been transformed, or we call a digital operations center. It's just in one site. We are serving more than 1,500 customers in Spain, and we have 750 experts, 24 hours, 7 days per week. And I would say that around 600 of those experts are certified in all technologies and secure technologies, the issue is that we are starting to automate all the IoT lines. 50% of our IoT lines are automated with intelligent management with solution that we have previously in the resolution. And I think that there are some key takeaways. So it's very important to have an end-to-end strategy when delivering this type of support to our customers. We cannot forget about devices, we cannot forget about the cloud. We have to set together with them an end-to-end strategy. The second one, we see that the consulting and the auditing services, it goes to prevent for the very beginning to happen. We are not saying that they will not happen because as we know, security is not a state, it is a process. So it will change, but you should have a very good starting point. And then there is the need as well to have a well-combined mixture of these products and services, and then a specific security operation service where they can support IoT customers with the specificities that they have because of the introduction of the base devices. Okay, thank you very much.